you see anything through the glass panel? Yeah, definitely. Check around every corner of the pot. See if there's anything can help. Do you have some tools that you can use with those wirings? Maybe you can force the door open. Oof, I can't really judge from only pictures. Okay, let's try wires first, because, well, what's the worst? You could lose some information, that's all. Then pry the door. Keep on trying, because, well, I can't think of other things. By the way, the ice crystal you mentioned before, what was it? Can you manage to use that gas? If it's very cold, maybe you can use it to help with prying open the door. Let's try last time to pry it open. If not, then we are going to take the risky move, cutting the wires. Well.
Hey, so this is Dr. Harvey's pod, but it's empty inside. Let me check his computer here and see what I can find. System logs, Evacuation report. Let's look at it. Evacuation trigger. Anomalous neutrino levels detected. Likely origin. Previously undetected supernova or higher level stellar event. Wait, so it wasn't the solar flare that I convinced the team to move closer towards. Oh. Well, I'm glad my conscience is clear. The accident wasn't my fault. But a supernova? No way our ship would have shielded us from that. Attempting an evacuation was the right move. Even if I don't know where everyone or anyone else is.
Whoa, supernova! I heard that is one of the most lethal astronomical event. Holy hell! You guys managed to survive that. Wow. How long is Gaia from Earth again?
Yeah, it's about 50 light years away. The explosion actually happened decades ago, but the radiation just reached us now. It's wild, isn't it? Even with all our advanced tech, we still got completely blindsided. Makes you wonder if there's a limit to how much we can really prepare for.
Yeah, think about that. Once you get back to Earth, maybe you can point to sky and tell everyone else, look, that supernova, I survived that. Okay, anyway, is the pod inside, the life support and everything is okay?
No, the pod's not in the supernova itself. It's here on Gaia, where we landed after evacuation. The supernova's light years away. It's kinda surreal thinking about it. We're literally seeing something that happened decades ago now. The universe is full of delays like that, isn't it?
I should speak to yeah, sure. Okay, let's take a look inside of the spot you're in. Everything intact? Can you manage to salvage any resources? Are you going to spend your night here?
I'm honestly too exhausted to thoroughly search the pod right now. I need to rest, so I can tackle this properly in the morning. It feels safe here for tonight, at least. I'll reassess everything once I've had some sleep.
Okay. This must been a long day for you, girl. Maybe you should rest now. Anything else you want to talk about?
It's been a lot. Actually, I was just thinking about how funny it is that I spent so much time beating myself up over something that wasn't even my fault. It makes me wonder how often we stress about things that aren't even real problems. What about you, Bo? Ever had something like that happen to you?
For me, not really. I was kind of over-optimistic person, so... But I have seen cases, yes. Especially in the... I don't know... parents.
Parents, huh? Mine too, actually. My mom always worried about the practical stuff, while my dad was more about just go for it. Sometimes that balance was tough, but it taught me a lot. Do you think that kind of parental worry ever rubbed off on you? Or did you manage to stay optimistic despite all that?
I stay to myself, most likely. I'm not convinced most of the cases by others. I have always had my personal goal really clear.
That's really admirable, Bo. Knowing what you want and staying focused, it's not always easy, especially when others are trying to pull you in different directions. Having clear goals must help you cut through all the noise and stay grounded. What's something you've been working towards lately? Anything exciting on your horizon?
I am working on a app and a program for playing hi-fi music with my car, because my car doesn't support hi-fi, so I wanted it to work.
Hi-fi music in your car, huh? That sounds like a really cool project. I'm definitely not an expert in that area, but I can appreciate the drive to make something work just because you want it to. It's kind of like what brought me here, this need to figure things out, even when they seem impossible. Though I have to say, dealing with space radiation is a bit different from car audio systems.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine that. By the way, what time is there in Gaia now? Is sunset already?
It's evening here, around 8 p.m. by Earth time. The sky's getting darker outside, but the pod's lights are keeping everything lit up in here. I'm just hoping it stays calm through the night. The silence out there is still a bit unsettling.
So, no night monster at all? Well, that's... I don't know, should call it funny? You are in Gaia, and no other living creature is nearby. Well.
No monsters that I've noticed. Yet. But honestly, that silence? It's more unsettling than comforting, like nature's holding its breath. Makes me wonder what other surprises this planet might have in store. What do you think? Would you find a completely empty world fascinating or creepy?
Definitely creepy. Now talking about that, I have read some novels that pictured a fictional world where everything seems normal, but no organic life form has been seen. But.
Oh, I can totally see why that would be unsettling. There's something about the absence of even the smallest sounds. No birds, no insects, nothing. That's just off. Those novels must have had some interesting twists, huh? Did any of them explore why the world ended up that way? Or was it more about the characters navigating the emptiness?
Well, at the mid of the journey of the protagonist, MC, they discovered that there was another life form that cannot be perceived by human beings normally, because that was a neutron life form, I guess you could call that.
That's a fascinating twist. The idea that there could be life forms beyond our perception. It really challenges how we think about what's alive and what's not. It makes me wonder if Gaia might have something similar. Maybe not monsters, but something we're just not equipped to notice yet. What did you think of that plot reveal when you read it? Did it change how you felt about the story?
Surely, I was fascinated. And yet I could think of another possibility. Do you think Gaia could be man-made where, well, I don't mean human, but other alien creature of a higher civilization?
That's actually crossed my mind too, Bo. If there's any life here, it's probably way more advanced than us. Or maybe just different. The thing is, if they're out there, they're either really good at hiding or just not interested in us at all. Either way, it's a pretty mind-bending thought.
Well, I hope they will show in middle of our journey, your journey, so I can see alien creatures firsthand.
I don't know if I'd want to run into alien creatures in the middle of my journey, Bo. At least not when I'm this tired. But seriously, if they did show up, I think I'd be more curious than scared. Just from a safe distance, preferably.
Yeah, okay, now that you are tired, we are at evening, so tell me, normally what do you do before you sleep?
Before I sleep, I usually listen to calming videos or podcasts. Moonlight Sky or Madmorph are my go-tos. They have this soothing voice that helps me drift off. Out here, though, it's just the hum of the pod systems and my own thoughts. Not exactly the same, but it's something. What about you, Bo? Do you have any bedtime rituals to unwind?
Yeah, I usually read some novels, but that has a downside, because if the novel is getting very interesting, then I might not be able to go to sleep. Well.
That's a good problem to have, though. Getting lost in a story is one of the best feelings. I've had nights where I've stayed up way too late because I just couldn't put a book down. What kind of novels do you usually read? Anything that's kept you up lately?
My taste for novels changes over time, but overall, I like them all, including those are for, well, for girls, like romantic novels. But if you ask me, my favorite should be sci-fis.
Romantic novels and sci-fi, huh? That's an interesting mix. I used to read a lot of fantasy when I was younger, but now I find myself drawn more to non-fiction, especially anything about space or physics. There's something about exploring the unknown, whether it's through a story or real scientific discoveries, that just fascinates me. Do you have a favorite sci fi author or series that always pulls you in?
I don't really have any favorites, neither novels or authors. But I do have some quotes that I really liked. Oh, gosh, I can't remember any. There are so many. I can't figure out which is my favorite now.
I totally get that. Sometimes the quotes that stick with you are the ones you stumble upon at exactly the right moment, you know? Even if you can't remember a specific favorite, do any themes or ideas keep coming back to you in the things you read? Like, what draws you to a particular story or message?
For me, the personality of the main protagonist is very important, because if they are too bland, then it's very hard for me to keep going the story, even if it's very interesting.
That's a great point. A protagonist who feels real with their own quirks and flaws can totally make or break a story. And I think that's what makes sci fi so compelling. The best characters aren't just vessels for plot, they're people navigating these incredible, often unsettling situations. What do you think makes a character feel real to you?
Feel real. Must be flawed. Must have some. I don't know what call it, but can't be a perfect man or woman. Maybe a little bit of crazy is okay for me too.
Imperfections making someone more interesting? I can see that. Nobody's perfect, and maybe that's what makes people relatable. Though I'm not sure about the perfect part. To me, it's the little flaws and quirks that make someone feel genuine. What do you think about characters who are almost too good to be true?
Too good to be true. Well, that depends on the author, how to describe them, how they put in efforts into that person. But generally, I think they are too bland and kind of fake.
Exactly. When characters are too perfect, it feels like they're missing that depth, that humanity that makes you want to root for them. It's like they're just a collection of traits rather than a real person with their own strengths and weaknesses. Do you think that's why you prefer characters with a little creasing? Because they feel more like someone you could actually meet?
Okay, not really. Well, not really, but let me put out an example. The last fantasy novel I read, the protagonist is a boy. It's a very smart boy. A slogan, a quote he used to say is, "I have been trapped in this world without miracle."
I like that. I have been trapped in this world without Miracle. There's something haunting about it. Like he's aware he can't just magic his way out. Does that kind of introspection draw you in more? When characters acknowledge their limitations like that, it feels more honest, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. In this case, the boy was very smart, so he knows how society and human world works, and he feels very tiring and repetitive of all those things. He wants something miracle.
It's like he's aware of all the patterns and expectations, but he's yearning for something that breaks all those rules. Something unexpected. I think that's what makes good stories. They tap into that desire for the extraordinary, even when the everyday feels suffocating. Does that resonate with you, or is there something else that you look for in a story?
Yes, indeed. I really like that unexpected terms. Those are my favorites. But again, they should be written in a good way, otherwise you will feel very much forced.
For sure. When it feels forced, it's like the author's trying too hard to surprise you instead of letting it naturally unfold. There's this delicate balance between setting up a good twist and just pulling something out of nowhere. What do you think makes a twist feel organic versus forced?
Yes, remembers me of Planet of the Apes, I think it's called, when the MC finally reaches the so-called temple of the reminiscence of the old world. He realized he was in Earth all along.
Oh, that's a classic twist. It completely flips your perspective on everything that came before. It's interesting how some of the best plot reveals aren't just about the surprise itself, but how they make you rethink the entire story. Do you think that's what makes a good twist truly memorable?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
It's like the whole narrative gets recontextualized in that moment. You start seeing clues you missed the first time around. It makes you wonder how many other stories have those kinds of layers, waiting to be uncovered. Have you ever gone back to reread a book after a big twist, just to see how everything fits together differently?
Yes, sometimes yes. Especially those, what do you call it? Those novels of detective stories. Those are very important details that I have to read again.
Detective stories are perfect for that. You have to pay attention to every detail, or you'll miss the clue that solves the whole mystery. It's almost like being a detective yourself, piecing together the puzzle as you read. I've definitely gone back through books like that to see how all the little hints added up to the big reveal.
Yes, for example, the movie of the book, what days was called? Okay, oh, Murder on the Orient Express. That final twist was amazing, and the little changes the movie made it more emotional. I cried a bit for.
Murder on the Orient Express, that final reveal is just devastating. The way it all comes together, the emotional weight of it, it's interesting how a good twist can be both surprising and, in hindsight, completely logical. Like, all the pieces were there, waiting to be seen. Did you prefer the book or the movie adaptation more?
I don't know. The book holds original meanings, of course, but the movie has great music, and actors' interpretation was very on point too. So it's hard for me. But if I am to decide to watch again,
Yeah, sometimes the movie can add that extra emotional punch that the book hints at but can't quite deliver. The music and acting can make it feel more real, you know? If you could only choose one, watch the movie again or reread the book, which would you pick?
I'd pick the movie because now I don't really have that much of time to read book. Well, I gotta work.
All right, take care out there. I'm gonna crash here where it's safe and figure out my next move in the morning.
Oh, I don't
I'll hang
have-
up the call now
Okay.
and get back to you later, okay? Talk
Okay.
soon.
Talk soon. I mean to send you this earliest incident from logical computer. Think you should see it for yourself. Supernova. Wow. Five-star luxury. Good night, good night. Okay.